It's the weekend edition of Racing to Win. That means we're back at Sha Tin on Sunday for a 10-race program, a week out from the Turf World Championships. It's a rather open little meeting coming up with a number of chances in a few races. There will be a short-priced one or two amongst them as well. And to tell us more about that, we welcome Paul Lally and Nick Child. And Nick, it's some dual course racing coming up this week.
Yeah, it certainly is, Mark. Looking forward to it, actually. I mean, look, it's not a bad card. I mean, leading to what is our biggest meeting of the season. And there are some nice horses lining up, some interesting newcomers as well. So there's a little bit for everybody.
There is indeed. What about jackpots, Paul?
Yeah, there's one of those as well. There's a triple trio jackpot of 2.1 million. So a decent jackpot going into the triple trio. And as you say, there's going to be a couple of short price favourites. I thought A Power was very impressive last time. Will come up quite short in race number 9. And he's sort of on trial for the Derby, really, isn't he?
He hasn't really been mentioned in Derby dispatches, has he? But he's been sneaking under the radar impressively.
He needs to get up the ratings, that's the key. So he needs to win it again impressively in this race to get up, because Keefe, his stablemate, who's probably Frankie Law's #1 Derby horse, is still 20 points plus above him.
We'll talk more about A-Power shortly, because he is one of the races we will feature on here. But before we get to that, Alfie Chen's not riding race 10, number 10, Equalita Blitz. Jack Wong replaces Alfie, race 10, horse number 10. Some meeting details for this day on Sunday. We're back to a 1 o'clock start this week with 4 races on the C+3 course, the turf being protected as much as possible, and 6 on the all-weather. 1 o'clock start for the Ashley Handicap. We go through until 5:45, and the 2 races that we focus on are races 9 and 10, the Nathan Handicap and the Salisbury Handicap. Race number 9 is over the 1,400 metres, and there's a few first starters here which have raced overseas, including Ivy League for Douglas White. Our Pal goes up £6 for that last start win over Decrypt. Amazing Victory has a wide draw. Good Band, Ben Ben Bang makes his Hong Kong debut. He's a Brazilian bred who has had the 5 starts in Brazil for 2 wins and 2 placings. Samarkand raced under the same name for Bjorn Baker. California Redwood returns after being scratched on the 5th of November due to a heart irregularity. Global Harmony up in trip to the 1,400, as is Jazz Club, and Travel Golf gets the tongue tie on. Time to check out the speed map for race number 9 here. And all Rich's Nicky likes to go forward in his races, and he should be able to find the top in this too.
I think he should. I mean, he's drawn gate number 9, so he does have to come across a little bit here, but you've got Silvestre de Souza booked, and I think he can be positive on him. So, yeah, expect all Rich's to go forward. Parterre's never been too far away, but again, drawn wide, so he might just be caught out a little bit deep, and a little bit deeper than ideal, perhaps, for a horse who would like to sit just behind the speed. And Global Harmony could be an interesting horse as well. They might just try and ride him a bit more prominently. And A Powell, well, he's got closer with every run so far, Paul, having won last time.
Yeah, and from barrier 1, he should get that trail. There's 3 first starters in Hong Kong. Samarkand has probably got the most, well, has got the most pace we've seen so far. Actually, 4 first starters. Ivy League, Casa and Casa Combo have shown no speed in their trials. And Good Band, Bang Bang Bang, he's hasn't shown too much in his either.
He's got the potential to become a cold hero for any good band, bang, bang, bang. Anyway, we're going to start with a much easier name to say, that as A Pal, and his rider is Derek Long.
Derek, A Pal is one of your rides this Sunday afternoon at Sha Tin. Mightily impressive win last time out. How taken were you as a rider by that performance?
Yeah, we're all very happy last time, the way he win. But you can see he have a good barrier and good position. If the track is good for him, so the way he wins is quite good. But like I say, everything's suitable for him last time. I hope this time will be the same, but we'll see.
I mean, he's shown it with his form, but do you and the team feel that he just continues to improve? I mean, his win last time certainly looked the culmination of that bit of experience so far in Hong Kong.
Yes, look, every race he been learning and keep improving. Like first time he will miss a big jump, and second time rush to get the position he can be pulled. But last time he had a good position, he jumped nicely and go wasn't too keen. Everything was smooth, so so he's keep improving.
Were you a little bit surprised perhaps at the manner in which he did manage to win? I mean, it was a pretty sharp turn of foot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the way he goes smooth, and quite surprised.
Got an extra £6, Derek. I mean, the handicapper hasn't missed him. He's put him up 10 points, but I guess it's justified to some degree.
Yep. Look, I think the rating won't be against him. Just need the situation stable for him.
Just an overall sort of view of the race itself. I mean, he's meeting some newcomers. He's meeting one or two that perhaps are a little bit out of form. Do you feel he finds a nice opportunity to perhaps win again?
Yeah, try. I will try my best.
And obviously he's a 4-year-old. You rode another very nice 4-year-old a couple of weeks ago by the name of Keithy, who won well. This horse, is he sort of season geared around the 4-year-old series? I guess that's probably where he's going to head, is he?
Yeah. I believe he one of the 4-year-old horse, and last time he win quite super impressive, but the tempo was quite good for him, so he won't be too keen and quite smooth and top straight. He just put him out. He keep rolling.
I mentioned Keithy, of course, and for any jockey here in Hong Kong, it's always nice to put your hand up and get on these nice 4-year-olds, and especially when they're winning. And I guess that's a nice position to be in, because the more you can ride, the more you're successful on it. Might give you one or two options there for the big races.
Yes. So I just need to don't get a mistake, don't want to miss, and just keep trying my best.
There he is, Derek Lung there on A-Pal, Paul, as we have a look at his report card, A-Pal, and perfect trip last time from barrier number 5, and he's probably going to get it again. Yeah,
and he should get that tempo as well with all riches in the race. So, look, he's going to get every opportunity. Obviously, they are talking about the 4-year-olds, so he's still a long way away, but if he does win this, it takes a step towards it.
It certainly does, and look, he showed a sharp turn of foot, didn't he, when required, and he's clearly got that ability and that turn of gear that can help him go a long way.
This horse has ability too, Nick, in Majestic Victory. Actually can't get past All Riches here, who has been racing really well, but from barrier 13, he's going to have to rely on some luck.
He will do. No better man on board, mind you, in the shape of Zach Purton to overcome that, but he is racing extremely well, and hard to fault his runs at the moment. Last time out behind Eremo won impressively, and he's kept on really well there in the pink and orange, so he's certainly one you'd want in the numbers, Paul.
Oh, yeah, he's got to go in, I think, for sure. And the stable's going so well at the moment. A good run from All Riches as well. He stayed on nicely, so both of those go in for me.
Here are the times that he ran, Paul, and you can see there he was a couple of birdies and a bogey by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was as well. So a good run from All Riches. He just, if he gets rated nicely in front, then he's going to be there for a long period.
And he draws to lead, does All Riches. We move on, Nick, to our next replay now, and this is Global Harmony in Happy Valley last time. He's trialled well in Hong Kong. He finished 5th in this race, and it wasn't a bad field that he did run 5th in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Starbright was the winner. He's a fairly handy benchmark. His ratings up there sort of well into the 70s now. So, look, good run this. Back to Sha Tin, I think will suit. Going up in Trip, I think will suit as well, Paul.
Yeah, it was a good run from him as well. I'm going to include him. I think he's a smoky coming into the race. He's a decent price at the moment as well.
Let's Do It comes up in grade as a 17 start mate, and he has raced in this grade 13 times, gets a weight allowance for Alfie Chan. This was a big run behind Turquoise Alpha last time, Paul, even with the lightweight, though, much harder this field. Yeah, this is going to be a lot tougher, this race, and he's drawn awkwardly as well. So, look, he'll be looking for cover out wide, I think. Let's Do It. I didn't quite include him in this.
No, hard to find a spot for him. Look, he's never actually won here in Hong Kong from 17. He's never won from 13 in the grade, and he's now been upgraded on the back of a defeat. So, yeah, I couldn't quite have him either.
His best minor form is over a mile too. Now, California Redwood was back at the trials after being scratched early in November, and Ivy League, Nick, was a horse raced under the same name when trained by Aidan O'Brien, won over 1600 at Dundalk on the Poly and also at Nace. Yeah,
we'll start with Ivy League. I mean, obviously he's ex-Aidan O'Brien, and Douglas White has done well with those, hasn't he? One of them goes without saying, but outclassed when running the Irish 2000 Guineas and the French Derby, so he had his limitations exposed, but he's an interesting newcomer, and California Redwood, Paul, I think is interesting here.
Yeah, look, I agree. And look, I'm happy to watch Ivy League. He's 12.25 pounds, so he's quite a big horse. He's had the 3 trials to get him right. And of course, California Redwood did have that harder regularity, so hopefully everything's good with him.
He did indeed. And Samarkand, Paul, a newcomer for Pierre Rung, was raced under the same name. He actually started life in New Zealand and then went to Beyond Baker, won over the 1600 at Tauranga and 1500 at Kembla Grange. Yeah, starting off here over 1400. He's had the 3 trials. The hood goes on him. Another one drawn a little bit awkwardly at barrier number 7. I'm happy to watch him.
Yeah, those wins are on heavy ground as well, so I'm not sure he's going to quite find those conditions this weekend. So he's probably best worth watching. And look, I think others have a better handle on the form, but the balance of it probably not the strongest.
Golden Mission, winner of that trial, lines up in the first of Class 5 to open the program. But in race number 9, Paul, it's got to be the favourite, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? A-Power, he's going to get the perfect run in behind. So impressive last time. I know he's up. 10 rating points for that, but I still think he's got plenty in hand. So he's on top. All riches from the front. Global Harmony, an improver coming back from Happy Valley, an amazing victory. So 2, 10, 11 and 3, but it's all around the 2 for me.
Yeah, certainly hard to get away from the favourite. He was mightily impressive last time. I think he finds a very winnable race once again. So A-Pal, for all the points made, goes on top. California Redwood, I thought, was very interesting in this race. Amazing victory, has to go in. He's holding his form well. And what at a bit of a price, possibly, is the 11 Global Harmony. He might just be seen to improve, I think, now going up in trip. So 2, 8, 3, 11 for me.
And that is the preview for race number 9. It's all about A-Pal, a very short priced early favourite for the second last. We're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. After this, back to look at race number 10. And you can hear a couple of those jockeys on this week's Hong Kong Direct. Holly Doyle and Tom Marquand join Nick. Jump on the website hkjc.com and click on audio and video. We're going to move on now to race number 10 on Sunday's card, the Salisbury Handicap over the 1200 metres. It is on the all-weather. Campione gets a £10 claim for Angus Chung's a 2 from 3 track and distance winner. Majestic Star carries an extra £10 and his big win 2 starts ago. Kaying Master resumes with a very good first up record. We the South is a 7-time winner, but they've all been over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley. Galaxy Witness all-weather debut and blinkers for the first time. Toronado Phantom gets the pacifiers again. California Red's first up, having had the 2 trials. A reminder, Jack Wong, the new rider for Equalata Blitz, carries £3 less for Jack's claim. And Super Wind Dragon comes up in grade after bolting in over Call Me Teddy last time. Speed map here, Nick, and Campione drawn to lead.
He certainly is, Mark. Yeah, he's in gate number 3 and he showed some good dash, didn't he, last time, and he was only just denied behind Oriental Smoke. So, yeah, certainly expect to see him go forward. Look, Apache Pass in the centre there, he probably won't be too far away. This is his preferred surface, but has been racing well on the turf as well recently. We the South, we know he likes to lead, but is a better horse at Happy Valley. And Equalata Blitz could be interesting here, Paul, as well. He might well try and press forward. He's drawn gate 2 and he will be apprentice ridden. Yeah,
and he's coming to the surface for the first time as well. California Rad, another one who's having a second start on the surface. He's drawn wide. I think he'll go back, and Silver Fig will love all the speed in front of him.
He will indeed. Been a bit disappointing, Silver Fig, in a couple of runs this time back. But it is Majestic Star, our focus. Nick tracked down Hugh Bowman.
Hugh, Majestic Star will be your ride in the last race on Sunday afternoon. You've had a sit on him in the trials. What did you make of him?
He gave me a good feel, Nick. He does like the all-weather. He's won on it 2 starts ago, and his tick-over trial was very good. Got a lot of confidence out of that, and looking forward. He's got a good draw. He's got a bit in his favour, so hopefully we can finish the day on a good note.
Absolutely. Class 1 winner 2 starts ago. I imagine Danny Shum, who's been keen to put you up on many of his runners, he'll be quite hopeful of a big run as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. And the horse is in good form, and the writing's on the wall, but we still need things to go our way. So looking forward to it.
And I guess where you're drawn, gate number 1, obviously never a disadvantage in a race like this.
Well, with my little experience on particularly the all-weather here at Sha Tin, the draws are vital, and that's a huge advantage to be drawn in. So we've got that advantage, and we'll try and make use of it.
I just had a look at your record actually on the all-weather here in Hong Kong. It's a very respectable one. You have obviously ridden on it, not as much as the turf, but you've had success on it. Do you enjoy riding on the all-weather as well? How does it differ from the turf, perhaps, in your opinion?
Well, what I found with my experience, because that was my first taste of all-weather racing when I was here in Hong Kong some 8 or 9 years ago, and interestingly enough, I did have some good success, and it actually laid the platform to riding a few winners here in Hong Kong during that period of time. Subsequently, we've been to Japan and had a bit of experience on all-weather tracks over there, which is a lot different to the track here at Sha Tin. But you know, it's all about momentum and rhythm. It's different to turf racing, which goes without saying. But I do enjoy it. But you need a horse that copes with it. You know, some horses just don't like it, and others really thrive on it. So when you're on an animal that really does enjoy the all-weather, it's a huge advantage. And Majestic Star seems to be one of those.
He certainly does. And just talking of rhythm, Huey, obviously, but momentum, things have continued to go well for you. Obviously, a nice double during the week at Happy Valley.
Yes, it was. I had some nice rides there, and you know, you've got to sort of turn those into winning rides. But the evening didn't start off quite the way I would have liked, but certainly by the end of the night, we were happy with those two winners. And you know, Casper's horse in the last, I thought, was particularly good. He was really strong. Obviously, he did have good form and races well at the course and distance. But it was a pretty dominant win, and might be another one in him.
Absolutely flying is Hugh Bowman since he's arrived in Hong Kong. But we need to move on from Majestic Star, Nick, to Apache Pass. Now, we've got a bit to look at here. Only one horse, but we're going to show the entire race. There he is, drawn barrier number 1. He does love racing on the all-weather surface, but this is over 1,200 metres this week, and it's a distance he's never raced over.
Yeah, for sure. Look, his wins have been 16.50, and look, as we take it from the start, you can just see there, he's now locked onto the bit, and he gives Derek Leung not the nicest of conveyances, that's for sure. So, look, he's certainly over racing Paul from an early stage, and it'll be evident in a moment. You can just see him there throwing his head about a bit, and he's clearly not willing to settle. And with that, he's sort of had to let him stride on.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see him now sort of getting 3 wide, getting to clear because he's just wanting to pull so much. I mean, he's had another start since this over the 1,200 metres, so it sort of makes sense they're coming back to the 1,200 because he is over racing, and he didn't help himself one bit in this race.
When I said 1,200 metres on the all-weather, he has obviously raced over 1,200, as Paul said, on the turf last time behind Oriental Smoke. And it almost gets to the case here, Nick, where he's just pulled so hard that Derek's just going to let him go. Yeah,
and look, I mean, for those that obviously, you know, have ridden, you know, sometimes you're competing with 500 kilos of horse here, so it's not an easy task. So, look, sometimes the easiest thing to do is to let them stride on. And they do settle in front in some cases, and that's probably what he's done, to be fair. I know he's come up short in the finish behind King's Shield, who we know is a very good horse on the surface, but I think under the circumstances he has run a good race. And look, for those that were with him on this occasion as a 2.6 favourite, they'll feel a little bit hard done by, but he has run a good race.
Yeah, because I mean the key would have been to cross King's Shield, but he couldn't get across, could he? And that was the thing. Could he get across? I suppose that's the $1 million question.
He's gone down swinging at his best. King's Shield's a really nice horse on that
very
surface.
good horse,
All right, off to the turf we go here. Paul, there's Galaxy Witness up on the outside now. He does come to the surface for the first time. Blinkers have been added, and he's coming back in trip. Just peaked on his run at the 200 metres here. Yeah,
look, obviously they were looking at a 4-year-old series for him and coming back to 1,200 on the all-weather now. Blinkers go on him. Like, he works well on the surface. I mean, he hasn't raced on it, so that's just the unknown there. But I think coming back to 1,200 is good.
Yeah, look, I agree. I mean, look, I've been a big fan of this fellow, and I just feel on this evidence, perhaps, that the mile might just be that little bit beyond him. At this stage, he might well get it in time, but as Paul alludes to, he's worked on it well, he's trialled on it well, and I think coming back in trip's not going to bother him either.
Beautyverse disappointing since that run. Keefe outstanding since that run. They finished first and second. Now back to Happy Valley. Nick, this is Power Kep, who the only thing more buzzing than the light show this night was Paul Lally when Power Kep won, because it was his long shot.
It was indeed, yeah. It was well found, and he does that more often than not, does Paul Lally. But yeah, look, it was a good win. He was a 10's chance this night. He beat Starbright, so the form is okay, and I imagine you'll enjoy looking back on this, Paul.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with him again because he's come onto the all-weather for the first time. He's a horse that works well on it. He's down in weight, and he has won on the potty track in the UK.
We pull up the trial file now, Paul, and Ka Ying Master is up at Chung Fa trialling. He's had a couple of trials to get ready for this. Loves a first-up run, though.
He does, doesn't he? He's a 3-time winner first up before. He's a horse also that does like the all-weather. I mean, he's won twice over the course and distance as well, so there's a few positives there for him. He's just drawn awkwardly.
Yeah, Benno Young has trained plenty of winners on the all-weather this season, and that first-up record is absolutely electric. So, yeah, he's got to have a chance.
And that is just the last concluding stages of that trial up at Chung Fa. There's the brand new winning post down the back. It's been a welcome addition, Paul, but we need your selections for the last, please.
I'm going to stick with Power Cap. He's going to come up a good price up in grade here, but he does carry the light weight, and all the pace should suit him once again. He's 25-1 at the moment. Campione from the front, Apache Pass unlucky last time, and Majestic Star loves the surface. 11-1, 4 and 2.
Yeah, going the 2 here, Majestic Star. I think he looks well placed in this race. Class 1 winner a couple of starts ago, and I think he might prove a tough nut to crack. Galaxy Witness, interesting on the surface. Campione goes in. He was super in defeat last time, and Kying Master, fresh up, looks very interesting indeed. 2, 7, 1 and 3.
A really good race to last. Plenty of chances in amongst the field of 12. All right, Paul, we need some winners for the first 8 races, please.
Yeah, look, Diamond Swords, I thought won really impressively last time and can win again. Boys Party will be on the pace. Golden Bull ran into a really good horse last time on debut and ran second. I think he'll be very tough to beat. Stand Up's been trialling really well. Son of McPhee loves the surface as well. Superb Boy was good on debut. Handsome 12 loves the surface as well. And Castle Legend, I think he's due a win too from the really nice second last start.
And you can see all of those races on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Almost the end of the show, Paul. You know what it's time for.
Golden Bull for me. I'm going to put him on top. I thought he'd come out of a strong form race. Really good debut run from him. I think he can win. And Power Cop, I'm going to stick with him in the last. All the pace on. He'll get back. He'll be running on. And he'll be a decent price. But we'll do the play in race 5 with Boom Alliance, who ran well. Last start, Son of McPhee and Legion of Merit, QQP.
Yeah, best bet for me. I'll go towards the end of the programme. The last race, in fact, race 10 number 2, Majestic Star. Hopefully we'll see one of those victory salutes from Hugh Bowman. And the long shot, race 8 number 6, Bogos, up in trip, looks progressive on the evidence of one run. And I think he looks a nice horse going forward. And race 7, the play, 5, 7, 14, those numbers.
Stand Up for Frankie Law. Race 4, number 10. Sylvester de Souza on board from barrier number 7. Trial was outstanding from him. Gold Comet. Now, he used to hold the class record in Class 4 over the 1650. He's down in Class 5 now over the 1200 with Dennis Ship. Trialled up really well. Play of the day, race 4 of forecast. 10 Stand Up and 3 Light of Wanchee, race number 4. That has been racing to win for a quieter Sunday at Sha Tin, Nick, but can't wait for Wednesday night when it all starts.
Absolutely, Mark. Yeah, it's going to take off next week, and thoroughly looking forward to it.
World's best jockey's in town, Paul.
He is, actually. IJC night is always a really good night here in Hong Kong. One of the highlights of the calendar.
It is, and then we're back at Sha Tin on Sunday week for the Turf World Championships. That has been racing to win. We'll see you at Sha Tin on Sunday for the first of the 10 at 1 o'clock.